Hi everyone! Welcome back to the First Year Voices series. This time, it's going to be on week 7. So the title of my week 7 was called Stories of Ourselves, and we looked at memory and forgetting through the lens of psychology, but also about how memory helps us form personal narratives, how sometimes we create narratives about ourselves and then manipulate our memories to fit into those narratives. So we looked at how unreliable our memories can be sometimes. But we also looked at how personal narratives can join together to form collective narratives about a group of people. So in keeping with that, we've decided to make this video a collective narrative of our week 7 through the lens of my group mates, our professor, and our psych advisor. Hope you enjoy!
Hi everyone, I am Shen and I'm part of the Psych team. This is my 4th time doing a Learning Across Boundaries program. Week 7 lies under this program, and what we do for every week 7 is that for first years, they get to be on this week-long experiential learning program, kind of opening up their minds and their eyes to what their 4 years here at Yale-NUS College would be like.
So, Stories of Ourselves is concerned with memory, but memory as it relates to identity, both identities, kind of our personal identities, as well as more collective things.
So I chose this week 7 because the idea of memory intertwined with and even defining our identity was something that really resonated with me because I process a lot of my life through writing. And as a writer, I thought that this week 7 and its lessons about memory and identity would be valuable to me, especially when I channel like those memories into my past experiences, into art.
One of the activities that was quite memorable for me was when our group went along different parts of the downtown line to smell different things. So we went to the botanic gardens to smell the flowers. We went to different places to smell the food and to see what memories the smells trigger. So for me, something that I didn't really expect was when we were going onto the train itself, I smelled the interior of the train and it immediately triggered memories in me of going back home after school, hanging out with friends along the in the train, taking the train to different places, and that was quite unexpected and surprising.
And I think what really struck out to me the most was how I actually look back in my own past and how certain experiences that I've had actually made me come to Yale-NUS even, or maybe what I want to do in the future. So I even had this EEG, which is this device attached to my head, and read electrical signals and showed how I responded. And I think that was really, really cool. And yeah, it's a great week 7 to have.
The most impactful part of week 7 for me personally was visiting Bukit Brown. Bukit Brown is a cemetery and it houses the tombs of thousands of people, and it inevitably houses their stories as well. And the reason why it was so impactful was because before we visited there, I had a preconceived notion that I wouldn't be able to relate as much to these stories as my fellow Singaporean classmates would be able to. But I was so surprised that I could relate to these stories. And in a way, it made me realize that they weren't so much Singaporean stories as they were human stories and a collective narrative about humanity, and that we could all relate to that identity of being human.
I also learned about how our stories, our memories are influenced by our current selves, such as when we are, remembering stories or writing stories, our present self is interfering in the things we choose to remember and we choose to forget, and how even just unintentionally recalling memories, how they are also being interfered with by our present selves.
I think the biggest takeaway for me during week 7 was being exposed to the fundamentals of how specific parts of the brain works. Memory is something I've always found fascinating, and being able to get the chance to understand how external stimuli directly trigger our memories was really cool.
Rays of light shining through the bus windows, disturbing me as I was trying to sleep after the early wake up.
I remember sitting by the road outside the cemetery gate, listening to Claire share stories from the wall.
I remember how passionate all the guest speakers were and thinking, I hope I find something like that soon.
I remember Prof. Chris
telling us that there was a psychological reason why we hate the sound of our own voices. And that's why I'm not going to watch this video.
All in all, week 7 was a fun way to explore these ideas outside of the classroom and a quick dip into a topic I otherwise wouldn't have encountered. It has left me with lots of interesting pieces of knowledge, but also lots of questions, and I hope to explore these questions in the upcoming semesters. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon!